So let's call the meeting to order. This is the monthly meeting for the Palms West Athletic Association. Today's date is Wednesday, May 26, 2021. If everybody will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Quick roll call. Mike is here. Robert is absent. Sam is here. Nicole is here. Secretary is vacant. Our general board is Brandon, who is here. So we will move to reports. Sam, I'll start with you.
We just got finished with the spring football with youth spring football. I forgot what they call. So we just got finished. We had some success in the area. We did have a state champion in the 8U division in the youth spring football league. So congratulations on that 8U state champion. Um, we just started conditioning. We started conditioning when it was May the 4th. So we're doing Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturday conditioning at Seminole Palms Park. And we just starting getting more coaches on our division. We just missing one coach on one level. That's 11U division. We're still looking for coaches for that division. I think that's about all about the old reports.
All right. Very good. Nicole.
Currently, the PWA bank account has $24,337. We're in the process of collecting registration payments for the fall FYFL season, and we will be purchasing some equipment for the program, and that's all I have to report.
All right. Very good. Anything I need to report will be covered actually in new business. So we'll move on to that. One change for this year, in comparison to our years previous with Pop Warner, is that backgrounds are basically approved or denied by us. So we don't have to send it to FYFL. They just want, a list of who's approved or who's disapproved. So with that being said, we're gonna have to form a committee for background checks and then establish, which I know there's already some guidelines, but we need to maybe kind of look it over, and maybe get some kind of someone who's like a police officer or a lawyer, something like that, maybe to help consult with certain things that might pop up in people's background checks, which we actually have access to, so that shouldn't be a real issue. So that's the only real update right now for background checks. They sent me something today, so Sam let her know it should be like the next day or so for the link to be done, so we can
The
get that out to the
background check.
coaches. Yeah,
Okay.
so that should be live in the next day or so. Insurance, I got a whole bunch of emails today about that. So there's a few processes that have to be um, taken care of. So I will get that done. I know there's got to be a W-9 done, and there was like one or two other things that's kind of different from the way we've done insurance in the past. So as soon as I get like any pricing, I'll shoot it over to the board just so they can see. And if we can handle it electronically, like payment, we'll just do that to expedite anything. Do we have any questions about the new business?
I got one new business that now on the agenda, but I forgot to mention to you. I don't know if Brandon gonna mention should I mention about the fields. Okay,
Yeah.
so okay.
All right. So that's new business for old business. So our last time we had done a review meeting, we've been having player registration dates, which coincide with all the camp dates. But with the fields closing, we're probably going to have to have some additional dates. so that way people can come to the field house, turn in paperwork, do payments and stuff like that. Since we'll kind of be spread out. Um,
Are we able to move like a table to the
yeah,
new
we can
field
definitely bring like
and then
something
keep someone
mobile.
at the field house?
I mean, we can. I don't think it's yeah, because we have the square that does the square reader. I don't know if you want to do cash or if you want to strictly stick to electronic payment at the other location.
We'll be at what Farron Field right
Yeah,
around
it'd
the
probably
corner.
be either. I think it just do the credit card payments there only. Because I mean, you don't want to lug around the cash and all that stuff. That's I
It's
don't know.
gonna be hard if some parents come with just cash,
Right.
and we don't want to turn them away because they might come back 2 weeks from now.
Yeah. Oh. Um. Also, with the registration, the check the what you call it, the online.
The online is
Make
working now.
sure. Yeah. Make sure. I went through. It looks like it was working, but
You
just
put the
test it.
percentage that Nicole need.
Yeah. So it's
Okay.
actually it's a little bit more because they do a 3.4%. So I did the upsell on that to account for the 3% interest charge. The 3.4%. That one's more expensive than Square. So it's like 232.65 is what I think it was. So it's a little more expensive than just doing Square. So if they go online and do that, um, just let them know online's more expensive. I do have it broken down like 6U, 7U, 8U, so on and so forth.
Oh, and an important thing about registration that I forgot to mention. After doing the certification this weekend with Mike, we're probably going to not have a 6U, since 6U is more about development, and they really do not play a real game. They don't call penalties, anything like that. And we was missing a 6U coach, so we may only carry 17 instead of 18s.
7 and up. And it probably works out better because remember, a lot of the 6-year-olds were talking about, oh, I turned seven, and they
Mhm.
can't at all
And that's another thing with this issue. They can't turn 7
during the calendar
during
year.
the calendar year. So if they turn 7 December 31st, they'll be considered 7U. So we're thinking about getting rid of the 6U. So if some parents come to you, tell them we waiting to see. I think we'll have a final decision probably,
Well, I say by the 21st, it has to be
by the
by
21st,
yay or
because
nay.
we got to make sure we have the team before we go what they call declaration. So we got to make sure we have our teams before we go to declaration. Because if we go to declaration with a team listed and we don't fill that team, it's a $255 fine
Yep.
each week
Plus referee fees.
plus
So
referee fee. So
500.
if we don't have a coach for 6U or 11U by that time, I'm thinking about moving both teams.
Okay. Very good. So that covers the registration. So for the additional days, you want to just do still stay have somebody at the field. You said right while we're at Farron as well.
Yes, I think we should do
Just have
a big Saturday
or maybe just
registration
do
event,
both locations on a Saturday.
like a big one on Saturday, like
All right.
something big from like 10 to 3 or something like that.
Okay.
But that might be too long.
10 to 2 is probably good.
Yeah, 10 to 2 or something like that, so we can get it out the way. One of the parents did mention in the coaches meeting, we had a coaches meeting recently, that we can ask the DMV to bring a bus
Oh yeah,
out there,
to do
and
the
then they'll do
IDs.
all the Florida state license at the field instead of doing an appointment. She said she don't know if they still doing it due to COVID-19 protocols, but they did it in the past at Boynton Beach at different locations. But they actually bring the bus out there and they just do all our kids state IDs there because they can't play without state IDs. That's part of registration. And they're gonna be holding a lot of things up. So when it comes to registration, when they do mass registration, if we don't have, let's say we have 20 kids on the roster, and we go out there and they don't have their state IDs or the necessary paperwork, we don't have 20 kids on our roster
Right.
until they have the paperwork. So we need to stress when we're doing registration to turn in the paperwork and organize the paperwork so we can start
Everything
putting
completed because you
it
could
and put
have
it in the lead manager ASAP.
right. So
And I did. Oh, and I did let. I sent all the team moms that I know is confirmed to be a team mom. Their login, so they'll be able to help whoever doing the registration with logging in their information.
yeah, so it'll kind of help mitigate that big rush that we always get. All right. So do we want to do? Well, we should probably do every Saturday in July up until the 21st.
I agree.
So let's do that. 10 to 2 field house. So we can start. Let's see. Look at the calendar really quick. Well, if we do 8/15/22. Oh, no, it's May. Sorry. So I guess we got to do what, this Saturday, the 12th, and then the 19th, right?
Yes. And when is mass registration for the FYFLE? What is it, July the what?
5th. No, the first one's the 5th. They have like three of them. Yeah,
July
end of July.
26th.
It's like the week before we actually go into August. So actually, I highlighted it. So basically the start of our season is the 21st. That's the first day of practice. So June 21st, and then our first what they call mass registration, which basically just when you declare teams. That's July 5th. And like Sam had already mentioned, you have to have completed players. So all required paperwork, all required documentation, complete, turned in order for that player to count as a player. All right. Third item of old business. So bylaw revisions. We mentioned last time we were here. We will definitely have to update that terminology. So, for example, we now host 6U, 7U, 8U, etc. Let that reflect in the bylaws. And then I think I can't think of any more now, but there's probably a few items that come up that we'll have to change as the season goes on, since they're structured different than Pop Warner. So like their nationals is different. I know the regional is different. So there might be things that we need to change moving forward that needs to be reflected in the bylaws. So if you guys see or note anything, just be sure to put it in an email so that we can bring it up and either do a workshop, and then obviously we'll bring it here at our meetings. All right. So just to reiterate, okay, so for Saturday is going to be June. This is for registration June 5th, 12th, and the 19th will be at our the field house from 10 to 2. So that's for any kind of registration, payments, um, or anything. Yeah, anything they need to turn or anything like that. All right, so that's old business. We got any questions or comments?
I don't think Brandon did his report.
Oh, you know what? With this, I can't even see you with this screen. Wow, let's backtrack. Brandon,
I was gonna jump in during open
I
public
heard you.
comments.
I heard you had public comments from Brandon.
Um, no, just the documents we need to get caught up on. Making sure we get the taxes
Okay, yeah.
taxes filed, taxes information in. April 15th was first quarterly financial report
Okay.
for this year. But then we still need just dating back the monthly reports, just the monthly bank
All right,
statements.
so when I send the notes, we'll do the monthlies.
Yeah.
So I'll put those together,
Okay.
and then the quarterlies will come right after.
Okay. All right. And then other than that, the spring teams rosters.
Oh man, yeah. Okay,
So
thank
you
you.
can go through and do the fees for those
Gotcha.
and get you set up there.
Be general.
Then if there's anything, I'll go through and make sure. But anything else, what I do is I'll put a list together. If I'm missing anything that I missed there,
Mhm.
I'll put it all in a document. I'll email it to you.
Perfect.
That way we can get everything squared away.
Yeah, just if you itemize it, that'll be good, and I'll just go down the list and we'll get it
Okay.
squared away. For the field closures, when was the open dates? Because I know it's going down June 12th, right? Everything
Yes.
is
So
closed.
they're June 12th they're going down. 9 and 10, 11 is already. I don't know if y'all seen it. They've already dug it up. So
That's the new dog park.
Yes, size should be being laid there soon. They've already ordered it, but yeah, 9 and 10 will be down. So we'll have to move over to Farron Park for when you all start practicing.
Okay.
And during the summer, we're gonna have someone come out and they're gonna be doing turf management. So that's really the reason why we're shutting them down.
Okay.
To get them back up to par.
Right.
They've been beat up this whole
Yeah.
COVID year, and we had to resod, and sod wasn't catching. So we've got somebody coming in, and they're going, professionally maintain it and get them all back up to par.
Gotcha.
This is my question though, Brandon, and this has been a problem with when we do our resort and we do our maintenance to our field, to the field. You guys put the ropes up, but somehow the soccer or the high school kids and the trainers are coming there still. While they doing the resort, they're coming there still will play on the field and mess it up worse. Because that what happened with field 10. That would took so long for us to get field 10 open. What are we gonna do about that? Like, are you guys putting another barrier around the field to help with that? Because I think if you do the little thing that we had, the little fence
The-
thing,
the
and then
orange
with the
fence?
rope too, that help more.
Yeah.
Because them kids don't be caring about them ropes. They'll find a little area and they'll still beat up, and then they'll slow the progress down, and the process down, and then next thing you know, they're hurting us because we can't get on the field until August, and we got our first game August the 14th.
Yeah, that's what we talked about. The ropes we put through last time, that was one thing, but putting the orange fence around each field when they're closed and roping it off throughout the middle. That way we can keep people off of it. The one thing that hurts us is not having park rangers to be out at that park, and
Right.
if somebody's out there to kick them off. But what we have to do is just be a little bit more vigilant. Be a little bit more vigilant, and have our guys try to go out there a little bit more often,
Right.
because like I said, it'll become a problem where the fields end up taking more of a beating than they need to,
Right.
and we get more problems. So I'm gonna talk to them and see if once they're closed, we can get guys out there, eyes more, just riding through, making sure, hey, if they're out there, you got to go,
Right.
to try to
Yes.
clear them off the field. But hopefully one day we'll get a park ranger system that we can really enforce that. But
Gotcha.
without the numbers and the staff, it's hard.
Gotcha.
And another question was with I think last time we met we were talking about equipment, a storage space. Did you look into that? The room I asked about was by the press box. There's a
So
room under.
so I checked into that with that room. I know you said about the soccer using that. That's actually something through them with the county that we can't even touch. So unfortunately, we can't access that and get that storage space. I've looked into it, just try to see what's going on. It's something I guess they've had grandfathered in from years of being there through the county, and they let them have that area. But
So do we have any other option of adding storage to the field house? Because we are getting to a point where we want to add new equipment to help our kids be successful with training, and we have nowhere. That's one reason why we're not ordering a lot of equipment because we have nowhere to store that. Like our little storage room is full to of the capacity, and we want to get new dummies. We want to get the Tiger. We want to get sled that can help our kids be successful and prepare them for high school. But we're limited to the storage area. So, is there anything else? Like, can we get a mobile storage area put by the grass area, or anything else that we can do that can help with storage?
I'll look into it and see what we can do. I know if there was any like additional like a mobile storage area that had to be brought out there, um, it would have to be from the organization. Like you all would have to incur the fee of having it out there.
Right.
But I'll look and see if that's an option.
Like a container or something like that.
Yeah.
Like a shipping. I mean, that way they can't break into it.
what do they call them now? Pods.
Yep.
Yeah, something like that. But um, no, no. Just because it's something additional. Like I said, we have that room there. Anything additional going out
Gotcha.
there as far as storage wise,
One-
the village will
One
cover
day
that
you'll come
cost.
back and the building will just be
So,
bigger.
with you guys' 5-year plans or 10-year plans, do you guys see anything in the future with adding storage?
Um,
Adding on to the building, or y'all still like battle between the county and
Yeah, that's it's that in between area. But it's something we talk about every year. Um, just trying to see which direction this is gonna go, with the county from us and that whole situation. So it's a fluid one, but nothing solid on it. Um,
Rec meetings,
yeah,
right?
it
The rec advisory meetings, probably.
rec advisories be good. I know annually. I know budgeting wise, um, they're going through finalizing. I think everything's been finalized. This next upcoming fiscal year budget. Um, but as far as that, I know it could be something that could be talked about at like a rec advisory meeting, um, or even like I said, as far as expanding it, um, it's something that we talk about with our strategic plan when we do strategic planning. So it's something that I mentioned. I put it on the strategic plan, but as far as how far it goes and public input, I have to check the calendar because we do when they do that, they do have a public meeting where you can come and give ideas for the strategic plan. So I have to check and find out when those dates are. I think they already passed for this upcoming fiscal year, but I can find out for the next one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, definitely will.
Yeah, that's the main thing because I think we're putting a spotlight on Royal Palm, and Royal Palm is like becoming known in different parts of the state and the nation, actually the country, due to the youth football organization because of us winning national championship over and over again, and then winning state championship. And
And
it
then
seems like we are still in the same spot we was 10 years ago. Well, actually 11 years, 13 years ago. How long we been out there? Nothing had really changed when it comes to the spacing we're given. Um, I know you guys said that in the 5 year plan we were thinking about the turf field. That's something I'm excited about. I hope we pass it. But like expanding is important because we're growing. We're not the same lead that we was 5 or 6 years ago, and right now we're looking at bringing in probably 150 to 160 kids, and we don't have the equipment
Well, I think
necessary to cover 16 because we can't store it.
even more than, I mean, there's been times where there's been bigger numbers, but I think what Sam's trying to say is that I think it was more of a rec league atmosphere, and now it's competitive, like you were saying, where I mean, there's teams from Georgia that know who we are and want to
Yeah.
come play us, like legit teams, and there's teams, California or Miami or whatever that like call us up and say, hey, we got tournaments going on, let's go. And these are teams that I know it sounds ridiculous, but they're actually ranked through like a legitimate ranking system. I know it's youth sports, but it's
Oh yeah.
and they're not lying. I mean, they're top tier teams, and
And that's the most important thing. We have all these teams, all these numbers, but we have no other. We want to add more equipment. We want to add more training equipment to the organization, but we have no storage space.
Mhm.
And then when we do have a big game, when it comes to like concession, we're basically trying to keep the concession with the COVID-19 protocol. It was hard because we have to use the water fountains from outside. We have to try to clean up, and we have such a tight space for all this. And then you go in and you look at Cat Fields and you see the soccer, and you like, oh my God, look at that concession.
that building's like the size of
It's
this
the
building.
size.
Yeah.
And it seems like football is winning everything, but we're not being taught. We're not being talked about when it comes to adding on. And another thing that I wanted to point out, Lake Worth won a district championship, and they got a big long banner by the city
About
on the
100 yards
fence
long.
that say, "This is the home. Welcome to the home of the Lake Worth whatever the Jaguars District 5 Championship." We got nothing on our fence, and we don't want two national championship. And Palm Beach Garden got a big banner on their thing, and they don't want two national championship. And we have nothing to recognize and let people know that the village of Royal Palm have great youth sports and to be proud of. Maybe I should write that in another two. Since we on the what's it called, I just wanted to put it out there that we want to be proud of our team. And then, do you know the size? Because I know you guys had a rule about the size of banners on the fence.
I have to look. I know that's a whole code
Yeah.
thing.
So,
The
No, so I
size
was,
of
I was
banners,
telling him.
how they can be presented on the fence. I mean, it's a whole um, and even like I think I just had the talk with my baseball organization. They had sponsorship banners on the inside of the gates, inside of the park, and
Right.
it was against the code. Where they actually have to be on the other side of the fence, kind of like the outfield fences. So it's a
Yeah.
lot of
It's
intricacies
there's tape.
with the code and
Yeah, there's tape. I
what
got
can
you.
and can't be with banners. But
I
I
ain't
can
even
look
talking
into
about
it
the
for you.
sponsorship, but I'm just talking about having recognition that when
A
people ride,
recognition banner,
when
yeah.
they
But I mean,
ride,
but it's good
when,
advertisement because I mean, the joke, the
that's
joke
great
always
advertisement.
was everybody went to Gardens for the facilities and equipment, but everybody came here to get coached. But
Mhm.
we need to kind of put both of them together.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
we've got to have the tools. You know, we can't just say, "Oh, we're the best coaches in town or in the county." I mean, it's good, but
But we live in a visual world though. Everything is social media now. Everybody want to see things. They don't want to just hear it. They want to see it.
Mhm.
So when you ride by a field and you see home on the 2 times, I'm gonna get out. I want to see what this organization got. I probably never heard of Royal Palm Beach, but if I have things like that on the fence or even on the scoreboard, I'm gonna get out and ask the coach or ask someone about Royal Palm Beach, and that help us with bringing more people to the organization because we have to grow. If we don't grow and get more athletes, we may end up being another has been organization.
it's just mediocre. And
Yeah,
it's,
and
that
then
that
we don't
wasn't.
want to go back to being just that. We want to continue to give our kids, Ventura Point and surrounding area, an organization that they can be proud of and that can compete against the teams in Miami, the teams in Fort Lauderdale, the team in Gainesville, Orlando. And the only way we can do that is with the help of us coming together and creating something wonderful. And it seems like we have these meetings, and not you, but it seems like we need more, and that's why we probably need to go to the meetings that you guys are talking about.
I mean, those are tough meetings. I've been to the rec
To
advisory meetings, and they're
Mhm.
long and boring. And so by the time I know I get up there, that
gotta express our concerns.
Yeah.
you know,
I
it's
want to grow. I want to be to the point where when you come and we get your child something to look forward to.
Mhm.
And I know that's what the citizens of Royal Palm want. They want something to be proud of. So we're trying to create that, but we're not expanding. And then, like I said, when I go look at Catsfield and I look at other fields and I see the shaded um, stands where the parents can get, they don't have to have tents because they got bleachers with shades. We sitting there in the hot sun. I
Yeah.
know it's football, but it's just, I know it's with the county and that, it make it harder. But maybe looking at a new place to play something,
Mhm.
if we got any parts open. I don't know, I'm sorry about. I'm just.
But no. I definitely and definitely like I said in my meetings, I said it's good to have a public forum, but I'll definitely be bringing concerns to our Parks and Rec director in my staff meetings. That way, like I said, it can be voiced and it can be heard to them. Like I said, in going forward, like I said, I know with that being our park in the county with the lease, there's a lot of things that we can do, a lot of things that we can't do, and it's like I said, it's a kind of like a complicated situation with it. But um, I do what I can um, to voice your concerns and make sure that, like I said, moving forward, that we're able to start getting the things that we need for your organization. So, like I said, you continue to grow, have the space, and
it's a little bit of
bringing
everything.
national championships
It's space,
to the
it's
city. So,
equipment. It's I said you just gotta go in the right directions. Like
yeah,
we're not looking for 1,000 kids. That's a rec league, but our numbers are fine. But like you said, Sam's gonna say you're trying to go after a certain athlete or a
Mhm.
certain group of athletes. So if they're already at the level that they're past the beach ball blocking, you've got to move to other equipments or other
Yeah.
types of equipment to use for training. But they're beyond that level. So it comes to the point where it's like if you can't, they're going to go somewhere else if you can't service them properly. And
Right.
I mean, if I was a parent, I would probably take him, right?
Mhm.
Take him where he can continue to grow, not just because I like Sam or I like Royal Palm, but They're worried about where's my kid going to play in high school or in college, or they're thinking long term. So that's kind of what. Unfortunately, it hurts because we got to step our game up to like that level, with 10-year-olds.
Mhm.
So that's
Yeah.
kind of like what we're dealing with now. That's the territory we're going into. So
What do you think about scheduling a meeting with the director to come out to see our facilities, see how many kids are on the field during training, and just see what we're working with? I think that would really
Well,
convey the message that we don't have enough room.
as far as facilities and um, kind of what we're dealing with over there, we're more than aware.
So you guys have seen the
Yeah,
equipment room and all that?
yeah,
Okay.
more than aware. But it's just like I said, it's one of those things where
yeah, I know the county owns it, but you lease it, so it doesn't
and
make
it
stuff easy. I know.
yeah, it doesn't, especially as far as trying to add
Right.
to it out there.
I mean, I've been dealing with that since the whole time I've been president.
Yeah.
It's always been that.
And that's
was
what
the
makes
deal.
it hard. But like I said, we continue to push.
Can we
and
switch
see.
with soccer?
But isn't it just a memorandum of understanding between the village and the county?
That's a great idea. Can we switch with soccer?
Uh,
We
that's
love
that's
them
a,
fields.
that's
They'll
a
have more fields. We don't need that many fields.
that's a whole different
I'll talk to
that's a
Mal.
whole different conversation in everything. Um,
Uh, uh,
Be an MOU between the village and the county, or an ILA, just some kind of agreement, to move forward with a capital program out there. If you want to send me the contract, between the village and the county, I can review it. I work in public with municipalities a lot,
mhm.
so I have a lot of experience helping them plan their capital improvement programs and developing these MOUs.
Okay.
Between the different government agencies.
Mhm.
So I can definitely take a look at that and see if there's anything, that can be done. It won't happen while I'm here, but 5 years from now,
Right.
we
Well,
should have something.
the groundwork you lay now.
It's-
But
it-
it's a 5-year program. This is not going to happen next
Right.
year.
Right.
None of that. But we at least need to try.
See, and that's the great thing. We
Definitely.
have Nicole now. So
Right.
let's use her before next year over and get this 5-year plan because she actually worked with this stuff. So, a quick question before we do close. I know we longer than usual. Fair and field, will we be able to get them field painted, or can it fit 2 fields? Or how? I can't remember exactly how else. Can we get it painted so we can have the organization where we can separate the teams?
Not sure what it could fit in there. But I'll see if we can get them painted and
Okay.
two. What you want? Two? If we could fit it, two.
If we
full
can fit
fields.
2, if not, do a 50-yard one and a 100-yard one if we can. I haven't been out a minute, so memory kind of lacks. I know one time we did have a week long count there. It was crazy because I had to get all the equipment from
Yeah, we had
Seminole
to
Palms and then take them to Ferry in my car.
Yeah.
Then take them back if it rained. Now the equipment in my car, that's not much.
That was terrible.
And then we got to go back to what's called. So that's the type of dilemma we're dealing with. Moving from Seminole Palms for a whole 2 months, they're gonna put us behind. Because more than likely, I'm not gonna be bringing equipment back and forth. So they're gonna put us behind too.
Okay.
But having a field will help us. It won't help us with doing the special team stuff because we can't even work on field goals, which is gonna hurt us when we play in the game. So that's the stuff that hurt us when we move from. You're a football player, so you understand.
Yeah.
So moving from a field that have goal posts, and then moving to a field and just have no goal posts. Now we can't work on our special team. August the 1st coming, we're only have 2 weeks to work with special team. That's kind
You
of
think we'd be able to bring?
Yeah, it'd be
because those
hurting.
are mobile, right? Would they be able to trailer them over to the Farron Park?
Not.
they ain't gonna do that.
I'm not sure. I don't know if we'll be able to move those over to Farron.
Just curious.
Yeah. I highly doubt. But again, I could check it and see if we can move them over
Right.
there. But
Even if it's just like one, or something.
yeah, I'll see what we can do.
Yeah, because special team is important in football. It's like going over there, putting the soccer program over there, and they don't have no net to go in the soccer.
Right.
Like, it's hard, and it's hard coaching in a situation like that. But we gotta do what we gotta do because we want to win, and we want our kids to win and be successful.
Right.
But the field marker, the field being marked, will help us a lot.
Okay.
All right. Any other comments? We have one member in the audience. He has 2 minutes if he would like to speak.
Cheaper than the monthly fee for the
Yeah,
phone.
it is.
Long term.
Right, and you own it.
Yeah.
No, that's exactly what I was thinking.
No, I can yeah, I can look and find out what kind of specs or dimensions would be needed for us to be able to add anything out there and find that out. To be out there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely look into that too. I gotta,
Let me go and start trying to get some donations and sponsorship. Yeah, I'm talking about 1,500. I go look for some.
All right. Somebody's got a motion for us to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Uh,
All right. So our next, we'll announce the next live meeting. Brandon, one thing I think we're gonna do, we're gonna alternate. So do 1 month live. Do they still do the video service or something you were telling me about, like the conference call for meetings still, or
I think we're back on to just doing all live meetings.
okay?
Um,
So I think for right now it's gonna be every other month will be in person.
okay.
Okay. So the next one will probably be July. Because I mean, honestly, not much is gonna change between now and July. Okay. All right. So next meeting July. Thank you guys.